If God is out there, why doesn't he talk back? How can we obey him if he doesn't speak to us? Questions like these have their root in one thing: the fall of man. Did you know that when God created humankind, we were created in the image of God? Genesis 1:26. This image was not to look like God, but to have the same nature as God. It was a superpower, so man could have dominion, sovereignty, control over God's creation. This nature of God made it natural, or came with the superpower to be able to talk and hear God one-to-one. Genesis 3:8-9. After Adam and Eve yielded to Satan's temptation and disobeyed God, humankind fell from their position of sovereignty and intimate connection with God. This led to their eviction from the Garden of Eden and the loss of the superpowers originally designed, which included the ability to hear or contain God's voice in its raw form. Genesis 3. However, God chose not to allow man to live forever in this state. He started with Abraham and brokered a covenant with him to raise a special people, the children of Israel. Genesis 12:1-3. Once, God chose to have a conversation with the Israelites. God's nature of holiness and purity required that the people consecrate, purify, or cleanse themselves. Genesis 19:10-11. For 3 days before his presence would walk among the Israelites. But when God came down, there was a violent earthquake with long and loud trumpets, and God spoke to them by voice. Exodus 19:19. This demonstration of God's powerful presence left the Israelites quaking in their boots, Exodus 20:18, and they abandoned the opportunity of an appointment with God. Verse 19. Hundreds of years later, God comes to earth as man named Jesus Christ. He was without sin and paid the ultimate sacrifice so we all could regain access to his voice. John 10:27. The price Jesus paid meant that you too can now hear God's voice. Can now hear God's voice. As a person made new in Jesus Christ, 2 Corinthians 5:17, you are now adopted into God's family as his child. Now, you can begin to explore the various ways God speaks to us in these current times. To become one of God's children, invite him into your heart by saying this prayer with us. Dear Jesus, come into my heart and be the Lord of my life. Come and make me a new person. Forgive my sins and fill me with your Spirit. Congratulations if you prayed the prayer. We would love to hear from you and pray with you.